In this video today, going to complete the Z-axis. Quite a number of items has to go on this plate. This is the Z-axis mounting plate. It's 160 millimeters by 10 millimeters by 185 millimeters, so that's like 7¼ inches long and 6¼ inches wide, and just about 3/8 inches in thickness, which is you know, very solid to make this this spindle. One of the main tasks to do today is to finish off this mounting block, which actually mounts onto this ball screw and connects to this plate that you know, runs it up and down. So there's a fairly easy way of doing this, because there's 6 holes that need to be drilled around here. I'll come a bit closer. 6 holes that need to be drilled around here, but you don't have to measure them as such. What you do, you use the body of the ball nut to use as a template. So I'll strip this down and set this up in just an ordinary standard vise, and we'll just mark where the holes need to be drilled. So this is it's a ball screw, precision, 0 backlash ball screw and nut. Okay, so inside here there's a helical or spiral ball race which runs in this threaded ball race here, and there's 0 backlash. In the last video of this series, you saw me machine with my small CNC mini milling machine. I made this. That's about 3 videos back now. So, and this is the sort of job it'll do. It slides in there. There's, you know, within 1/1000th of an inch. It just fits perfectly. There's no movement there at all. Okay, making sure that's nice and flat. I'm going to go and put this in the vise and just mark out where these holes need to be drilled. Okay, so just simply holding this in a pretty standard vise, and I've got a G-clamp just on here, clamping the ball nut to this little housing to stop it moving as I'm just marking it with a 5mm drill. That was a bit more. That's all you need to do. So that gives me a good start, so I can get on my little drill press there and drill those through. But next I need to mark out, so what I've done here actually, okay, you see this, there's 6 on there. But what I need to do is just use 4 of them, pick up on 4 of them to hold into the, you know, onto the nut. but then I have to drill 2 down through here that screw or bolt onto the underside of that plate. So that's why I haven't picked up the other 2 holes here. I want a good meaty sort of hole to go down through there with the thread in it. So let's mark those out, and then I'll drill all these out. So I'm now going to show you a pretty low-tech solution to a high-tech problem. Now, apart from boring this out, there has been no high-tech equipment used on this build whatsoever. And the only reason I bored this out was to save me a bit of time. And the supplier of the ball screw kits didn't put it in the kit. So I've had to make one. So I'll show you how to make something like this anyway. Now, it's crucial on a build like this that you drill absolutely dead square, 90 degrees. Okay, so I wouldn't advise holding a drill and trying to drill down through something like an inch thick piece of aluminium. Now this is a fairly sort of handyman drill press. It's a Bosch. It's a fairly well made unit. It's German. But lots of other companies do make these type of drill presses, and this is all I've used in this build. So what I need to do is hold this square to the drill. So all I'm going to do is, I've got a piece of bit of oak here actually, nice flat board. I'm going to set that on there, and I've got a piece of hardwood here. I'm just going to set this across it. I'm going to drill a couple of holes in here and a couple of pilot holes in here, and screw this onto here, so I have a established, shall we say, clamp-in workstation, so I can, sort of drill these through without any fear of them being cockeyed. Okay, so that's my next job, is make this, and this incidentally is called a jig. Anything that helps you to do a job, whether it be repetitively or a one-off, it's called a jig. And there is our finished part. So now, what I've done is I've marked a centre line on there. I don't know whether the camera's picking that up, it's probably a bit too shiny. And we're going to find out where exactly, or how much travel I'm going to end up with, and where we're going to position it on this plate, on the underside, where we're going to position this, like that, on the underside, in relation to how much travel we're going to get. And I also need to work out exactly, I think I'm going to put this flush to the bottom, like so, but I need to be able to get the center of this in the top hole of the fixing hole where this is going to be, because I want to be able to run this off the end of here by about a 50mm, something like that, thereabouts. So the bearings are going to be sort of one here and one here, with a slight overhang to allow this to come all the way down to about here. Okay, so I'll reassemble this now with this on it, and we'll measure it up. Okay, so if I've got my calculations right and my drilling's all correct, when these are on here, like this, they should be exactly the same height as this. So let's find out if they are. Oh, look at that. I'm pushing quite hard on the bearing blocks, and it's just shining up. Just shining up on here. I don't know whether the camera's picking that up. So it's just marking that. And you can see it here. It's just marking it. So that's pretty well a perfect fit. I'm really happy with that. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to mount this there, just like that. So this block is flush with the top of this material, because then I can get a grease gun on where that grease nipple, there's a grease nipple going to go in there. It's actually an oil hole there as well, and I can get to them without any great difficulty at all. You know, trying to get between bearing blocks and what have you. So I'm just trying to make life easy for myself. So I can lubricate this then very easily. So that's what I'm going to do now. Mark this out to drill the 2 holes here to pick up on these, and then we'll put the bearing blocks on and mark all those holes out where they've got to be. Okay, so that's all bolted on now, nice and square and true, although I have drilled these holes about 0.5 millimeter oversized, so I've got some movement in this plate, and I will be drilling the holes for these oversized as well, so I've got some movement, wiggle room, so I can get this absolutely square, you know, with the gantry. That's pretty important. And something else I've decided on is I'm going to allow this, I'm going to attach this spindle mounting flush with the bottom of this, and I'm going to have the bearings placed like this just above it, so I don't have to countersink this and put countersunk bolts in these 2 here, you know, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I mean, it's not under, I mean, the most this is going to machine with an end mill is aluminium, you know. It is not built for steel. Okay, that's an entirely different animal, and in the future we will be. So that's where I'm going to position these bearings. No need for them to be any further apart. That's going to be okay like that, I think. I'll have a think about it anyway. Now, what am I gonna gain if I bring it down here? I don't think too much. So I think there's fine. Yep, I think that's what I'm going to do.